Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to today's session of Full Stack Developer course. I hope you are able to hear me and able to see the screen. Confirm in the live chat. Okay. Yes. Good morning, everyone. So let us start our today's session. Let us start our XAMPP and Atom, and after that, we'll start with the new topic, CSS. We are not following W3 school's syllabus, so there is no need of understanding HTML emojis and all. So let us start our CSS topic here. Now, basically, when we use CSS, we use two kind of CSS. One is inline, and the other one is external. Now, inline CSS, you already know that what is inline CSS, which we already used as style tag and the other kind of elements in that, right? So, based on that, we can use inline, and then there is an external CSS. Okay, and one more CSS is there which we include in the head. Okay, so let me show you how we can use these kind of CSS. Okay, so first is the inline CSS. So let me tell you how inline CSS we can use. So basically, let me show you in this demo only. Okay, so suppose this is the article, this is Delhi, this is paragraph tag, H1 tag, right? So let me first of all load this particular page in the browser. That is, I will show you example of a inline CSS. Okay, so this is the normal web page which we created last time, right? The layouts, for which I also gave you some task. Now let me use inline CSS in Delhi is the capital of India. This paragraph tag. Okay, what I can do inside the tag, I can define a style element. Okay, in the style element, I can define different uh, beautifications, like suppose color. So I can define color equal to yellow, right? After that, I can define suppose the font size or font family. Font family we already defined, so let us define font size, right? Sans serif, and like that, a lot of things you can do. We can define as background color, red, like this. And when we save and when we reload this, what you see, this is the changes which affected here, right? Now, what are this? This is the inline CSS. Now, whenever we want to use the CSS, we can use inline, which will be specifically for the particular tag, okay? The H1 tag, the paragraph tag, article tag, division tag, okay? Wherever we want to use, we can use that, okay? This is the inline CSS. Now, next is internal CSS. Now, what is internal CSS? So, instead of using these style here like these, we can use this style tag here, this one, okay? We can define in the heading the internal CSS, okay? Now, whatever we implement here, will be implementing in the same page. We don't have to implement every time inline for every tags and all. Suppose if we want to design the paragraph tag 10 times, suppose in my website, paragraph tag is used more than 10 times. So if I use inline CSS, I need to use this particular step 10 times, right? Now to sort out this, what we can do, we can define a paragraph tag style directly in the head like this one, okay? Now what will happen? It doesn't matter how many times the paragraph tag is used in the web page, it will implement to each and every tag automatically, right? That is the inline CSS. And the last one is external CSS. Okay. Now, what is external CSS? In this CSS, we generally create a separate CSS page. Okay. For example, I'm creating a separate page here, separate file, and in here I will define style.css. Okay, so I can define like style here. Okay, so I'm not defining anything right now, but what I will do, I will save it as style.css. Okay, now this file is saved as CSS. Now what happens sometime, we cannot define everything in the internal CSS, everything in the website. Why? Because if we are having 10 different pages, we need to define the design 10 different times, right? Suppose if I'm having 10 pages of 10 different cities, okay, and I'm having an internal CSS. So what will happen in every page? I need to define the design every time in the heading, in the style tag, right? Now, what if I define a simple style page at one time separately, and the link I can use every time in the page? That is also possible. Let me show you one example here. So what I will do, this is the demo page. So I will create one new file also. I will name it as external CSS example. So first of all, use the HTML head, title, example of external CSS, head close, body close. Okay, now I'm giving just a kind of simple h1 tag here. Okay, it will be by default in black color. I will change the design of this with the help of external CSS. I can do this in internal, inline. Now let us try with the help of external. So this is heading 1 and close, and we'll give the paragraph. This is a paragraph. Okay, let me save this. External css.html. Okay, done. Now when I load this one currently, if I load this one now, you can see this is the normal kind of HTML being loaded right now. Let me now load the external CSS. Just wait for a moment. Okay. So style.css is now created. So in the style.css, first I will define a style page, tags, the designs and all. So first, let us start with directly h1. There's no difference how we define in here. This simple h1 I define in here. For the h1, I will define as color gray. Okay. Then I will define as background color as red. Okay, that's it. Now I defined the h1 here. Okay. Now suppose if I want to design h1 in every page, I don't have to define it in the head tag every time. I don't have to define in the head tag every time, right? What we can do instead of that, I can simply call this style file in every page I want. And how to call that? In the head, we need to call that. And how we can do that? Just with the help of simple tag, which is known as link. Link relation. Now, what is the full form of CSS? Anyone? What is the full form of CSS? Yes, cascading style sheet. Correct. Now, the relation will be as style sheet. CSS stands for cascading style sheet. So, in the link relation, I will type style sheet because we defined styles in here, right? And then the attribution of the hyperlink. Okay, hyperlink reference, href. Now, what should I give here? Anyone in the href equal to what to mention here? Yes, style.css, because the file name is style.css. Now, basically, the file style.css is in the same folder, right? So we don't have to define any backslashes, dots, or other folder names because the file is in the same directory where the particular HTML file is there, right? Now, let me close this tag. Now, style.css should be imported here and h1 tag will be modified like this. Got it? Now, if I right click and inspect element here, just wait. So what do you see? In the resources, there should be an HTML, just wait, body h1. So in the h1, what you see, The design which is implemented here is h1 color and the background, and the location of the style file is style.css. Now when I click here, what I see, this style.css file, this one, this is defined in here. Okay. Now external css helps a lot in improving page speed. Why page speed? If you load inline CSS, just imagine if I'm having 10 h1 tags in this page, and if I use inline CSS, it will be loaded 10 times, right? So let me know, every one of you, from all these three kind of CSS, which CSS is fast in loading? Which CSS helps a website to load faster? Anyone? Yes, external CSS. Yes, internal is also there. Both we can use, but not inline. Inline we can use sometimes where it is required, right? But generally we need to use the external as well as the internal. Okay. Why internal? Now there are some specific needs of each and every web page. Sometimes we don't have the requirement of using same design on every page. Some common designs we can use, that we can define in style.css, common like this, which we can implement on every page, like body, h1 tag, paragraph tag, common color codes, common font designs, font styles. Okay, those things are common and needs to be defined one time as external CSS. And sometimes some specific contents of the web page needs to be defined as internal CSS. Okay, so this is how we use the CSS. If we change all paragraph color, we have to define there only. You can use external, internal, both CSS. Okay, let me close the chat now. I will give you, whenever I will ask you for the Q&A, then you can ask your questions. Okay, I will give answers to your questions one by one. Okay, now let us see the CSS. Basically, CSS. This is how we use CSS. This is how to use CSS. Now let us see how we can use what kind of design implementations we can do in the CSS. Now most of you already know about the margin, the padding, the font size, the font color, the background color, right? Now there are something which we need to understand. Okay, that is some kind of external files, if you want to call, and some uh, advanced kind of elements also we need to understand in CSS. For example, CSS box model. Now basically whenever we create a web page, I explained you about in the last session to use divisions, right? Why divisions? When we create a website, we use HTML blocks. That example is in here. This is the example of HTML block, like navigation, section, header, articles, styles, footers. Basically, this is not how we use every time. We need to define something custom division, that we use div, div. And then I explained you about HTML classes, HTML IDs, where we define the design of that. That is known as also CSS box models. Okay, so we're having lots of options to define a division, basically margin, border, padding, and content. Okay, so let me explain you how we can define a CSS box model. That is very very important. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll define in the external file only, and we'll implement in here. Okay, that will be a good example for you to also understand. So let me do one thing. We'll define a division. Okay, in the division, let us see if the class externally working or not. Box So we'll design dot box. Okay, we'll define first of all width. I will define the width as 200 pixels. Define the height as 300 pixels. Okay, then background color, I will define it as say that blue. Then text color, we'll define it as white, right? And what else we can do here? So width is done, height is done. Yeah, border. So border will do it as 1 pixel, groove black. Okay, then let me load this in the web page. So what you see, this box is now loaded. Let me decrease this height. Actually, height is a lot. What do you see? A division is now created. Now this is how we use a division. I'm just using the colors, the border, just to uh, show you how exactly it will look like, right? Now say that if I open this website and let me show you how exactly the structure looks like. Suppose this is my website. Let this open. And when I right click here, go to inspect, let me show you how the divisions are here. Like if I just hover it to someone like this one, you can see the highlighted particular logo part, then this, then this, then this, and this. Each and everything is on division only, right? Section, division, section, like this. Okay. So suppose if I click in here, or the whole container, and in the whole container, I'm having a this design. So let me do one thing. I will define the style. I will show as background red. So what you see here, it is defined as red. The whole division background, right? It shows that okay, this is a separate division for the logo, for the text, for the menus, and for the button. This is how the division is used. There are more than 500 divisions may be used in the website, more than 500, which is not visible because this is how we design a division. It must not be visible as a separate part of the website. It must be as the same part of the website. That's why I'm showing you the demonstration here. That just look that this is how we use a division. Now we can just change the background here, change the everything in here. Like suppose background blue, remove this, border, remove this. Now if I load this again, how can you tell where is the division? So you cannot tell that okay, division is in here or where, right? But the division is already in here. A fixed division, a box is created where we can define our content. For example, I can define a content in here, like suppose, uh, say that I'm defining an image here. So img src, okay, with 20%, okay, and alt is used for SEO purpose and all also. Let me give it the name, the logo of Google. Okay, that's it. Let me find out the logo of Google. That will I will give. So Google. Now once I load this, the Google logo is here. The size is very small actually. Let me increase the size to 100%. The size must not be that much of big. That's why it is loading this small. So this is Google. Okay. Now this particular Google logo is defined in a division, which means it is perfectly fixed at a particular position in the website. Okay, it will not be mixing with other contents or other divisions in the web page. It is a separate thing. Okay, we can define other division beside this particular logo for menus, other division beside these menus for buttons, like this. Okay, so this is how we define the CSS box. Now in the box we do have margin. Okay, so I can define a margin so that my content must not be congested. So generally we define the margins as 10 to 20 pixels so that the content must not be congested. We define the padding internally around 20 to 50 pixels so that the uh, the content space must be there. Okay, now there is no need of borders and everything else. So when we reload this, what you see, some kind of space is now here, like margin is also here and the padding is also here, right? This is the example of CSS box model. Okay, now so you can, one thing you can notice in here that I defined a width and height. Okay, now what if we don't have to define this? What if we don't want to define this? What we can use in here, in the width we can remove the height here, and in the width we can also take as auto or height auto. What will happen, it will not be having any perfect width or height. I will simply take the height or width of the content. So whatever the content is like, whatever the content size will be there, the division will automatically take space according to that. So now when I right click and inspect here, what I see, the division box is all over this particular logo. Okay, it's automatic, right? Now if I reduce the size of the image, say that, let me do it from here only. If I reduce the size of the image from 100% to only 30%, like this, what you see, the division is now till here only, right? Why? Because the width is and the height is automatically defined, which means whatever the content size will be there, based on that the division will be defined automatically. That's why we use auto. Okay, this is the HTML box model. Let us see what else we can see in the CSS. Okay, everyone, next topic we'll see as CSS icon. Icon means like the like icon, okay, text icons, car icons, cloud icons, the emojis and all, which one of you asked about. It's not a kind of emoji, it's a kind of icon which we'll be using, known as uh, fonticons, okay, or emoticons. So just give me few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Just let me give these minutes. Let me. I will be coming back in 2 or 3 minutes. Just wait. Okay, I'm back. So, just like the external CSS, we need to use one more script, that is a JavaScript. So we cannot define the font and the design, this particular icons without JavaScript. We need to use JavaScript in here, and that is known as font awesome. So font awesome is a free and open source kind of, you can say, design and toolkit, okay, which we can use to get different kinds of icons and all. Let me open this. So they don't only have free, they also have paid kind of subscriptions and all, but no worries, we need to use the free version. Okay, so whatever kind of icons you want to use, like you can see, they are already showing their icons, like these icons, star, cloud, home, Christmas tree, arrow, all these icons, everything. So they already have these kind of things in here. Okay, so what how we can use this is, basically we just need to define a font awesome SDK in here, that is with the help of script. So we'll define a script tag here. So here we'll be using external script. Now remember, we can also use internal and external script. Internal we cannot use because it will slow down the speed of the web page. Okay, let me show you what SDK will be using. So the link for this is https, which script will be using kit.fontawesome A076T05. Yeah, I think this is the same one. Need to open in here. You can see this is the JavaScript. Now you cannot use the whole JavaScript in here. We cannot use like this because it will slow down the website speed. So what we do instead of that, we just use the link because it's simple. We can use the link also, just like we use the style.css. Instead of mentioning everything in the web page, we can mention, we can call it as a external CSS, external JavaScript, right? So script src, so the source, this is the source, and cross origin. What is cross origin? Basically is the source of the script. So we'll be defining it as anonymous. Okay, now the script is done. The font awesome file is now called in here. Now this particular file contains every information about the font icons, okay, which will link directly to their servers. Okay, now how we can define the font icons? Say that I want to use a font icon in here. What font icon? Suppose I want to use a car. So how I can define is, the tag for this is, first of all I will use the I tag. Okay, then I will close the I tag, and then here I need to define the class. In the class, what can I define? The name of the icon, okay, which will directly be called out from this particular JavaScript. For this, internet is needed. Okay, just remember, internet is required. So it will be FA, which means font awesome, and FA hyphen car. The list of these things you can get on the website also. Okay, like list of FA icons. You can get completely list of FA icons. Right now I'm using car here. Okay, so when I save this, when I go back to this page, when I load this, something is wrong. Let me check. If you see, you can also let me know. Script is not closed. So now the script is closed now. Load now. Okay, so it's now loading, and the icon is not visible here. Let me see why icon is not visible. Close I is closed already. Can you repeat cross origin? Uh, it's just a kind of origin of the request. Like suppose this is the script src equal to kit.fontAwesome, this JavaScript file. I need to define the type of request we are establishing here from third party server. There we use cross site origin. Okay, that is anonymous. You don't have to define anything. Okay, that is cross site origin. CSS for I. No, this is something we will be calling out directly. Let me see where we did mistake. Just wait for a moment. Yes, FAS will be there. Sorry, FAS. Still, it's not loading. Just wait for a moment. Let me check what is the error here. Wait, I will explain what is I here. Just wait. Let me use it outside the division. Now it's working. Okay. You can see this car is here. Let me remove the division here, or let me just reduce the size 30%. Let me use one FA also. It should work. It's working. You can see this car icon is now visible here, right? This is the car. I can use one more like this. I can define a cloud. I told you kindly wait. I will explain I. That's why I close the chat every time because you spam a lot. I already told you that I will explain. Just wait for a moment. Typing question marks again and again won't be. So you can see the cloud icon is also here. Okay. Now just like that, we can define different kind of things also. Like suppose I can define a heart here. Okay. Now once I load this, you can see the heart is also visible here. Okay. This is how we define the font icons. Now what if I want to change design of the font icons? Suppose if I want to change design, like I don't need the car in black, I don't need the cloud in black, I don't need the heart in black, I need it to be big, I need to change the color. So what I can do here, I can simply put some styles. Okay, this example is of, wait, this example is of font awesome icons. Okay, I'm defining the titles also that you must not miss out when you do practicals. And these examples of styled font awesome icons. Now in here, let me define this car. in red. What I can use here, style. In style, I can use color. In the color, I can define it as red. Okay, and I can define as the font size also, basically. Font size. In the font size, I can define it as 48 pixels. So it will increase in size. And once I load this, what you see? Car in red and as a bigger icon, big in size. This is how we can use the font awesome with CSS also. That we can also define in the uh, internal CSS also. But in here, you can see the class is already defined once. The class is already defined once, so we cannot use the external CSS. We cannot define the style in here with the class name because we can use a class only one time in an element. Got it? This is how we use it. Font awesome. Okay. I tag. Okay, so basically, generally, if you say I tag is used to define something in italic, that is why it was used for. But then, uh, I tag was uh, started using to define some part of the text in an alternate kind of usage. Now, say that this particular icon. Okay, now what if I define something in here? If I define something in here, it will be like this. Okay, so a font icon is not a kind of graphic, it's also a text, but the text is encoded in a manner it will form a particular image, like car, cloud, any kind of icon that needs to be defined in the I tag. I tag is also known as idiomatic tag. Now, how many of you here know about idiomatic tag? Anyone? Yes, no? Idiomatic tag. Okay, most of you don't know. So basically, a idiomatic tag represents a range of text which may be encoded. Now, DGF I typed here, ABC I can type here. That is a normal text. The font icons are developed, designed with the help of special characters. We cannot use the define images and designs in here. We need to use characters, text, and then it is encoded with the help of JavaScript to form a particular icon. And those kind of text we cannot define in paragraph, headings. We define in the I tag, in the idiomatic tag. Okay. So the content inside the I tag is generally defined as an italic tag. Like suppose if I don't use any class in here, say that if I don't define any class in here and I simply use I tag with this is italic. Everyone knows about italic, right? Confirm in the live chat. Yeah. So when I load this particular page now, what do you see? This particular content. This is italic, right? It is leaned down forward, right? You can see italic. Now, this is the only kind of tag which is used to define some special characters also. Okay, that's why you use the font of some classes in the I tag only. In division, maybe we have used some box class here, like width, height, margin, padding, and all. That's why it may have not worked. Okay, I will let you know. How to get the link of font awesome? How to get the link? I already showed you the link. Then why need to search separately the link? I hope on the screen it is visible, right? Okay. This is the font awesome. This is how we can use the icons in the CSS also, defining the class. Okay. Difference between division and section. Selection. Selection, or it may be section. Division is not defined. Okay. Division is not defined anything. It's a kind of blank model box without any default designs and all. And selection is a kind of tag, you can say, which browser understands as a part of section in a website. But division is nothing. There is no meaning of division. Section is defined in the browser. It means the content of the web page will be there. If we change the background as image, an image can be blurred. Yes, we can do that. Don't go that much of advance right now. That is possible. Okay, I will show you how we can do that. Okay, that is known as opacity. Opacity, if we use, we can blur the image in the background or in the front end. Okay, so everyone, that is it for today's session. Actually, we'll be proceeding tomorrow with our next topic, which will be CSS link, CSS table, CSS display, CSS max width, CSS positions, overflow, float, inline blocks, aligns, and different kinds of more options here. Okay. After that, CSS will end and will proceed towards Bootstrap. Okay. And once this will end, we'll create a front end of a website, a front end of a website with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and Bootstrap. Okay, and after that we'll proceed to the back end, which will be PHP and the uh, Code Igniter framework. And after that, we'll implement the PHP with the front end. And after that, the website section will be finished. And then we'll move towards the other topics. Okay. So that is it for today's session, everyone. The video will be uploaded as soon as possible with the code. That is it for today. You can now leave the class and have a good day ahead. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Bye bye. Have a great day ahead.